Hello and welcome to IndiaPostLive.com, India's first live and interactive news conversation web TV. I'm Prachi Jatanya. It's been a past couple of months, we're increasingly seeing politicians completely having a foot in the mouth when it comes to talking about rape and the reactions to incidents of molestation against women in India. We've seen numerous incidents of politicians actually, reacting to an incident of rape or an alleged attack on a woman in this country, and there have been completely outrageous reactions from many of these people. They are leaders of political parties in the country. There is a former police commissioner in Mumbai who also made a very strange comment. So we'll try and dissect and analyze what really makes them actually react this way about something so sensitive. To take us to take us through this conversation in India Post Live and give us their take on what could possibly be the rationale behind this political talk about rape amongst our political leaders, we have in the studio Mr. Ashok Wankhede, senior journalist. We also have Ms. Monobi Maganti, who is from IIT Bombay and joining us via Google Hangout. Also, we have Ms. Vinita Deshmukh, another senior journalist, joining us from Pune on Google Hangout. We'll get different voices during this conversation. I'll come to you, Mr. Wankhede. What could possibly be, what could they be thinking? We have people like Abhijit Mukherjee, we have very well-known names here, people who have positions of power, blurting out completely absurd comments.
Prachi, if you see the list of the people, those who have made all these weird comments, one thing is common in them, that they were the responsible people for the law and order for that area, maybe a chief minister of a particular state or a home minister of a particular state or a police commissioner. When it comes to them for answering a question, why it is happening, why are not they able to protect the woman? So when you don't have any answer, you put the blame on the victim.
Right.
And when you put a blame on the victim, you come out with all sort of nonsense, what exactly they've been talking. When something the boys make a mistake.
Boys will be boys.
Boys will be boys, they make a mistake. So we cannot hang them. No, this is a shameless statement by none other than Mulayam Singh Yadav. Because his party is in power in Uttar Pradesh. Had he been in opposition, he would have been the first person to march against the government and create a problem in Lucknow, saying that where the law and order has gone.
Right.
Now that is the perception you have to really look at. So when you don't have answers, you come out with these things.
Right. And we'll just play out that topic, insensitive politicians. That's the topic of a conversation. You can also write in and tell us what have been the most absurd remarks that come to you by public figures, by politicians in the last couple of months, or that you can think of, which come the party that actually Mr. Ashok Wankhede is referring to. Should rape cases lead to hanging? Boys are boys, they make mistakes. 2 or 3 have been given the death sentence in Mumbai. We will try and change such laws. We will also ensure punishment of those who report false cases. Monobina.
It's so absurd. I don't know how to react. I mean, it's,
beyond
I
disgust.
agree. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. Every time, it's not that this is the first time I'm hearing of these statements, but every time I hear them, it's just totally mind-boggling, and it's disgusting. I mean, to put it very mildly. I agree with Ashok ji that this is, it is a problem of people, the governing elite, to, who kind of have the power to do something, but who do not take the necessary steps. At the same time, I think cutting across, whether it's you're in the ruling party or in opposition, whether you're the left, you're the right, you're center, it is a larger thing of patriarchy. It is just a consciousness, lack of gender consciousness, where you think it is perfectly smart or perfectly, it's like it's become a way of life to kind of, to just talk like that, because there is a misogyny which is extremely widespread. And I kind of look at it in the larger context of the prevailing misogyny and something which is kind of in a way validated by the police, validated by anybody who can do something to prevent such misogyny from being institutionalized, and yet they don't.
Right.
Now, coming back to that, even Sheila Dikshit was the chief minister. Now she's a female.
Absolutely.
She was a woman. She makes a statement on a rape that if the rape cases are more,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
the girl should not go out in the evening or in a night.
Yeah, yeah.
Now that is again I take as bad statement as what Mulayam Singh has said.
Completely
Why girls should not go out?
In fact-
in Delhi we are living in 21st century.
Right.
You are not able to protect them, so you are putting a restriction on the girl.
Absolutely.
That you are a girl, you are not supposed to go out. But they don't. She should have made a statement that how rapists are out in the evening. Let me see.
Exactly. Law
I
and
will
order.
punish them. But she made a statement on the victims. Now these are the things when that's what I said. When you are not able to protect the people, instead of surrendering
Yes.
or accepting your mistakes, you look for all those nonsense.
Yes.
What exactly we are
yes,
looking
we'll
at.
also play out Abhijit Mukherjee, Congress leader, son of Pranab Mukherjee. Those who claim to be students, I can see many beautiful women among them, highly dented, painted. They're giving interviews on TV. They have bought their children to show them the scenes. So we actually, I think this triggered off, a huge outrage and a major debate
And
on
you know,
forums.
if I may just put in something, this statement came, I remember this was the time, the moment was when Delhi had kind of exploded in rage.
Yes.
There were
Yes.
protesters out on the streets, demanding action. That is the moment when Abhijit Mukherjee chose to speak such utterly nonsensical, unacceptable stuff, And Sonia also, Sonia Gandhi, did she speak? I can't even recollect. Did she? She should have. See, the point is also the high commands of every political party.
They stay silent.
Stay completely silent.
Right. I'll bring in Vinita Deshmukh also. Vinita, we've also seen Satyapal Singh, former Mumbai Police Commissioner, when we found out about when the incident of the journalist in Mumbai at the Shakti Mills compound, the alleged attack happened. We also saw him making a very controversial statement about, countries with sex education only have crimes against women. Completely outrageous there, Vinita.
Yeah, absolutely. What ma'am said was absolutely right, that it's a patriarchal society. And besides that, you even have the chairman. And as far as the politicians are concerned, they, it just shows the status of women in our society. They are just, degraded. They are second class. And it comes not only from politicians or from women, but even those people who are posh corporate leaders. So generally you see non-vegetarian jokes which are assaulted at women itself. So basically, it is the status of the women which is reflected from these quotes. Secondly, when politicians say it, they know that they are not answerable to the voters. Though of course now this time they have got a good beating, but otherwise they think they are only answerable to their masters, and as also come out in the open. No leader from any political party really comes to the woman when a woman is outraged even through quotes and sentences. And I think this is the reason why they're just go on saying so. And we women especially, we take this injustice lying down. And whenever a woman is poked fun of, even in the office, I think if each woman stands, the way a young journalist stood and came out in the open to report, I think then only this entire social status of women will improve.
Right. I also have Rahul Maganti joining us. Rahul, you have also, closely dissected and analyzed these kind of insensitive and derogatory statements by politicians for the website Youth Ki Awaaz. What are your views?
So, the tirade against women, insensitive remarks have started right from 2011 or 2012 when there was a Gawati molestation case when half of the people in this country were asked to dress particularly with some salwar kameez or some other sort of dress to avoid rage. So telling half the people in this country to not to go out in the midnight or not to dress in a particular way is certainly weird to politicians who champion their causes. And the whole concept of boys will be boys idea is completely weird because it sends out an idea that boys are inherently violent. They inherently doesn't respect the violence against. They inherently doesn't respect the women, and such sort of an women, but also is all common to some other disadvantaged communities like homosexuals. If you remember, Ghulam Nabi Azad made a statement that homosexuality is not only a disease but also unnatural. So politicians should be more sensitive while making statements about disadvantaged communities without proper. They should be having some background research while they make this statement forward.
Right, and it seems to be, you know, there's an outrage and anger among civil
He
society.
raised the right point. The politicians have to be more sensible. Now, I will quote you two examples. Few years back, a tribal girl was raped. Police station, police raped her again. So the case came in Vidhan Sabha, Madhya Pradesh. Satyadev Katare was the Home Minister State, MOS. While answering a question, he said, we are giving 20,000 rupees for the girl, for her medical help and other things. Immediately, the opposition shouted, it's not a question of 20,000, she was raped twice. He said, okay, I will make it 40,000 now.
Oh my God.
Now, that was the fixation of a red tag for a rape. Another incident, when Sundarlal Patwa was the Chief Minister in Madhya Pradesh, and he was having a lot of opposition from Uma Bharti. Dainik Jagran reporter asked him a question about Uma Bharti and other things. He makes a bold statement saying that न जाने देव न जाने कोई. The meaning is the luck factor of a person, a male, and the character of the woman, even God cannot assure. So that Chief Minister speaking about his own party colleague in that format, so that shows the insensitivity of a politician. See, they are the role model. People look at them.
Exactly.
When you make all sort of statement, what more you expect from the society to act? So if we have Mulayam Singh, we have the police commissioner now. He happens to be a politician now. I think he has resigned and joined BJP and came and. Patwa, we have people like Satyadev Katare, we have people like that Banerjee, we have Babulal Gaur. So all these people will only have, they will fuel more rape cases in the society.
I'll just bring in Neha Dikshit, a journalist. Also on that note, we'll play out the graphics for Babulal Gaur from the BJP, the most recent outrageous remark, as if these politicians are trying to decode why the rape happened. This is a social crime, depends on men and women. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong. Until there's a complaint, nothing can happen. The item numbers in films is worsening the social environment. So blame the media. We also have Abu Azmi, also, you know, even more vitriolic remark and to ensure that there should be no nudity, nangapan. Those who wear less clothes should also be banned. And he is the father, I mean, it's out of context, but he's the father-in-law of an actress from Bollywood. So I really wonder what kind of environment, you know, she's having to live in. But really, Monobina, I'm completely flummoxed by what could be.
Babulal Gaur blaming the atom songs. I think in our society, they are the atom numbers. Right from Abu Azmi to Babulal Gaur, they are the atom numbers. As far as these things are concerned,
there's rising public anger, Monobina. We've seen in the past when, you know, the Delhi gang rape case happened. But really, what can be done?
You know, actually, you know, there were two really kind of spontaneous mass movements. One was on corruption, and then we saw December 12th, post-December 12th incident, the kind of mass. So, you know, when you look at the electoral campaign of 2014 and you see what kind of impact did it have on the campaign, actually gender as an issue was completely missing.
Absolutely.
While corruption did manage to get in, maybe through the medium of development and also because of a political brinkmanship between Congress and BJP, gender was actually completely, you know, weeded out. I mean, it was not even on anybody's agenda, you know.
I'll just bring in Neha Dikshit, a journalist joining us She also contributes for the New York Times and has previously worked with the Outlook and Headlines Today. Thank you, Neha, for joining us. Your first thoughts. We've seen a complete insensitivity among the political class, and our public leaders seem to be, trying to decode why rape happened, and every time there is an insensitivity towards the victim. Yes, but if I can just bring in Ms. Vinita at this point, Ms. Deshmukh, you've seen what has happened in number of cases in Maharashtra as well. We also had Satyapal Singh, actually saying, we'll put up their graphics as well for our viewers, that countries with sex education only have crimes against women. So every time there seems to be a shift of blame, the law and order situation not being analyzed or taken stock of. These are people who are in authority. It is their job to give protection to its citizens, be it men or women. So time and again we see that they want to pass the buck, and the buck seems to be, completely passed around, and nobody seems to be taking responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Pune police commissioner, because a woman constable, she was assaulted because she used right to information by her male constable in the night at 10 p.m. So, on her behalf, I put up an appeal to the police commissioner to immediately take cognizance of it, because they refused to file a FIR. You know what he told me? He just told me, oh, so if a man slaps a woman, it's sexual harassment. I know, like, he sarcastically laughed. I was absolutely shocked that this is the attitude. They help care for women, no matter from which status they belong to. Now the only way is, like Susan from Calcutta, the Park Street rape victim, he was fed up of being called. She's come out in the open, and she's campaigning and guiding women on how to stand for their rights when there is a sexual assault. Because the sexual assault can be mental as well as physical. So the point is that being a hardcore patriarchal society, even in the police force, even in the political force, we have these MCPs. So, where's the help? The help lies in getting, even the National Commission for Women is often of no use. I have even filed a complaint to them again for this women cop, but nothing has happened in the last so many days. So I think each one needs to be a Susan now.
Right. I'll just try Neha Dikshit again. Very valid points there raised by Ms. Deshmukh. We'll get Neha, thank you for joining us at the conversation on IndiaPostLive.com. The last few days we've seen very outrageous remarks, and of course these continue by public figures, political leaders, their insensitivity, as if they're trying to decode why rape happened to a particular woman or lady in question. What times are we headed into?
See, I don't know if if whatever I say, I'll be repeating a lot of speakers because I've not been able to follow the conversation. But I would definitely, what I would like to say is that the most important reason is the patriarchal mindset with which politicians make these remarks. And the second most important thing is that we are actually oscillating between two binaries. We think rape is a crime, and then there's the politician come in. They don't want to address things like caste. They don't want to address things like communalism, and which are a lot of times they are the ones that move towards something like rape, where women's bodies are used as battlegrounds, and where one community tries to establish supremacy over the other community by using the woman. Secondly, the other, apart from all the derogatory remarks about rape that have been made by all these politicians like Babulal Gaur or Mulayam Singh or Sharad Yadav, what is also very important is I'd like to point out a specific instance about sex education, where the BJP leader Harshvardhan from Delhi, he himself is a doctor, and he education because lady teachers will feel shy talking about it. So this whole sort of attribution to women to not be out there, and this openness which is preventing, which is also attacking the male order of things, is actually these kind of misogynist remarks stem from this kind of mindset. So I think that needs to be taken into account. And if people, the policy makers and the politicians who get selected who then eventually go on to frame policies for us, for instance, sex education, where people know that last year there were 316 juvenile offenders for rape, and this also stems from the fact that there is a lack of sex education. For instance, in the Nirbhaya, this also is going to affect in the longer run. When you say that we are in the times to come, this is also going to affect the policies, and it's pulling us backward instead of actually providing some kind of solution to the problem or addressing the various nuances. It doesn't really help changing the rape law, but actually these politicians, because they practice caste-based politics, which is why they don't want to address these issues and still are stuck in their misogynist framework by saying what they say.
Right, Neha. Monopina also has been specifying that, and you see that it's a problem of mindset. We've seen that there is a societal problem. No matter changing rape laws of trying to frame new ones, it will have to be a change in the way we are.
Yeah, but I do agree with you that just mere legislative redressal clearly is not enough, because we have enough laws and they've been amended, reworked, etc. But it is at the same time, like for example, Justice Verma Commission recommendations which were worked into the law, I think they are a milestone, I mean, because it redefined, misogyny, violence against women, which was needed. And it was not just rape or just molestation, but the whole question of gender was relooked. The question of mindset, I think, is at the root of it all, and there I link it with misogyny, patriarchy, etc. And I don't think we are inhabiting cultures which are primarily sexist. Like whether anybody in positions of power, like it could be it could be an editor, it could be the army major, it could be the police commissioner, it could be the politician. So immediately there has to be a punitive measure. I mean, okay, I would suggest that I think on an inquiry, if found guilty, your job should be taken away from you. Something really drastic like Sonia Gandhi or, for example, Narendra Modi. Narendra Modi should, since he is the kind of the face of the BJP and of this government, he should have pulled up Gaur and somebody else who immediately in the aftermath of Gaur's statement actually made something equally.
Ramesh Vyas, yes.
Yeah, Ramesh Vyas. So this is it is not really enough to just kind of talk about efficiency and delivery mechanisms. To me, reform is not just about economic reforms. I mean, unless you work gender into your agenda and you act like civilized people. I mean, I have to use the word civilized because I don't think any of these people act in a civilized manner.
Absolutely. Very good point.
When we talk civilization, basically I think it is the acts and laws will not do anything. The punishment, the harder punishment you give, people have been hanged. Even then the rapes are there. Basically we need to look it at the social, it's a social problem.
Yes.
We need to address it through society. Now, planet, they are from our society only. So somewhere we are lacking in educating our kids. We are not able to tell them. This is the same society. 100 years back, we never had so many rape cases. Why today? Because something is going wrong in society that has to be addressed, and that has to be addressed. Now, when Deshmukh was talking about this slap, the female constable was slapped. 15 days back, a woman bus conductor.
Yes.
In
Bombay,
stripped and beaten.
Stripped and beaten, and the statement she made, she said, "I'm not afraid of a person who fought. I had a fight with him, or who beat me. The problem is that I had a fear of the." Not coming to help the female.
Yes.
Otherwise, I don't think that any girl will be raped in Delhi with so many people around. But people are social problem. We have to address it through that.
Right.
Only asking God not to speak. So when you talk to somebody,
But I think
they
they
will
simply say,
react.
"अरे ये joker है, हमारे party का joker है. He keeps on talking. Don't worry." Now they term him as a joker and wash
it's
their hands off.
forgotten. It's forgotten.
Forgotten.
Right.
But that
Right.
joker remains to be a cabinet minister in the cabinet. Now that is another joke.
Right. We also will play the Ramesh Vyas and also we'll have Ram Gopal Yadav from the Samajwadi Party. So these are various cutting across party lines. We have these statements continuing in the aftermath of many violence against women. Vulgarity, obscenity and violence shown on TV channels is to be blamed for the multiple incidents of rape and assault in UP. Ram Gopal Yadav from Samajwadi Party as rape. We also have Ramesh Vyas from the BJP. The rape of grown-up girls and women might be understandable, he said, but if someone does this to an infant, it is a heinous crime and offenders should be hanged. So I am not able to understand the thought process behind the kind of, they're condoning the violence against women, and it's not just mindset and misogyny, Monobina. It continues to be, condoned, by political leaders. Rahul, you have a view that you want to share?
To start off, it was surprising that the majority of the statements are coming from parties which are considered anti-women like the SP and the BJP. And the second one, John, head on with the cultural misogyny and the patriarchy prevailing in our society. Because you're finding it an easy way to call the boys idea, or asking girls not to venture out in the midnight, or asking girls to not wear skimpy skirts or whatever it is. But the idea behind this is that they're being complacent, and since they can't achieve a solution to the patriarchal society and the cultural misogyny, they're looking at a shorter way in which they can probably point fingers towards the victim rather than blaming the person who perpetrated the attack.
Rahul, but what would be your solution? How can we tackle these kind of statements coming out? Monobina suggests that, definitely they should lose their jobs because they are people in authority. Their word counts at the end of the day.
Right. I completely agree with Monobina Gupta that reforms or laws are not enough or sufficient to tackle in the society about what exactly is for example, there is still a prevailing mindset that a woman is confined to a kitchen, and if a woman comes out as something extraordinary, and I never think it's extraordinary because it's her choice. So there should be a debate and discussion which should come out in the society, and if our politicians who are leading the country makes such insensitive statements, the debate is completely going to a wrong side, and we are completely debating wrong debate. The debate should be whether how we are discriminating women and what are the solutions for that, but not completely blaming the victim and not allowing them to speak out.
Yes, that's a very valid point in fact.
That's what I said. The social problem we need to address through that, but at the same time, if you see there are certain cases where like dowry laws, they were misused, like rape charges are also been misused. I mean, one of the cases in Amravati I read in newspaper, the female she charged somebody else for raping, and the statement she made that I was sleeping with my husband went in a farm for some releasing water to the crop, so the neighbor came and slept with me. I thought it is my husband. When my husband came back, I realized he is not my husband, so he's raped me. Now there are certain things like it's vague story, but the laws are such. So the poor fellow was booked, and later on so many things came out in the newspaper and other things. So both the side we have to see, and the entire problem, again I go back to the society. It is a social cause, it is a social problem. We need to address it. There was a character in Nagpur who used to rape a girl, go to jail, get a bail, come out, again rape a girl, and nobody would go as a witness to him because he was a goon. So after making so many complaints, The Mohalla was so irritated when he raped another girl and he was appearing in the court for a bail. 150 women
Beat him
marched inside the courtroom and they cut him into pieces. They got the justice. Now, are we going towards that barbarian where we have to go,
Mob
we have to
justice.
march inside the courtroom and kill a
Rapist.
victim? So it is on the judiciary also. If why you are giving bail to rapist?
Right. But
Why you are so soft on them?
there seems to be the problem that every time a political leader makes a statement, it's overlooked. It's people try and say that he doesn't know what he's speaking or try and cover up for it. He's actually trying to shift blame. He's trying to digress from the issue at hand, Bonobina.
No, so in the case of political, the statements, I think it's a far more endemic problem where you've just highlighted it cuts across sections. But we are discussing politicians right now, so I think it is very important for the person at the top, the most, say, the face of the party, to immediately come down hard on the person. If that person is occupying a premier position, take away the post from him. Take away something which he regards as highly valuable in his career. It is only that way, because I think you don't have to do it through law all the time, but,
But it
as a
happens in
moral,
diverse associates and sense of
as Sonia Gandhi, for example, I mean, in her party, Congress is not the best example. Actually, we are talking about now about Samajwadi, but you remember Jaiswal,
Yes.
and just one of the many incidents. We haven't even discussed the left. I mean, I come from Bengal and I can give you more than a dozen examples of how Jyoti Basu spoke that time. How after. He said, why did this woman go there alone?
Right.
And you have top CPM leadership coming out with completely regressive statements. So, so how do you tackle it? I mean, you don't have to go back to but you can tackle it at a political level. You have to come down hard. You have to take away some posts from them. You have to send out the message clearly that if you want to continue like this, it is not a joke, and every statement that you make is going to be taken seriously, because you don't, if you speak about on a communal issue, it is taken far more seriously. I mean, if you today attack any community, it is taken, I think, far more seriously than if you attack women. And I think you have to, that is where I think gender,
Why these politicians are not being, the political parties don't take action? Now see, Mulayam Singh Yadav's party is in power in UP. Government. Rahul Gandhi goes to UP on a rape case, but he doesn't visit Mumbai because his party is in power there, because he don't want to get embarrassed. So for them, even taking an issue of a rape is a political issue than a social issue.
Absolutely.
When you address a rape as a political issue,
Yes.
then everything becomes nil. So they forget about their
everything
attitude,
is
forget about
politicized.
their,
I agree.
So,
But how do you deal with it? I mean, if
What is
you
the
are the
way?
president of a party, like and let's. I mean, just for want of anything better, I would just bring Sonia Gandhi, simply because I think she at least claimed to have stood for women. I don't think she did much. For example, 30. This silence.
No, but Vinod
This time
Sharma, I
around
think
we-
in Congress, Vinod Sharma had to lose the cabinet berth when his son was into that.
Manu Sharma
was in
That was
murder
after a
case.
long time.
But at least some action they have taken.
I don't agree. I don't think the
But
Congress
rest of the parties, I don't see. Absolutely don't see.
Vinita, one final comment from you before we wrap up. Vinita?
Yeah, no, I would like to add here what ma'am is saying is right, that we saw the Somnath Bharti case. That was a very sterling example of how a political party has to be seen to be objective. So that's where, even the women members of the Aam Aadmi Party who otherwise tweet 24 hours did not mention anything about the way those Nigerian women were stuffed into the car in the midnight. Now, also finally, I feel that it is up to women who suppress seems to be crying because she said 48 hours she's receiving vulgar SMSs 24/7. So I said, why did you keep quiet? And so I took her to the Cantonment police station and lodged a complaint. She was so scared. She that my parents will get angry if they come to know about it. I told him, you are an adult and that too a journalist of Indian Express. So how can you sue me? And finally the culprit was found out. Just, last month in a very prestigious school in Pune, when the parents went and told the principal that their 3-year-old child is molested allegedly in the bus that she comes to, 48 hours the principal did not respond, and then 400, 500 parents went and assaulted the school. So it is, everywhere it is treated so casually, and like ma'am said, any other community issue also is highlighted. But this particular issue, which is very dangerous to the society, which has put so many of our women into psychological cases, they need psychology counselors, it is being treated as a joke.
Right.
And again I say that every woman should stand up, open in Calcutta, and if that happens, then only from the micro community we can hope for a macro change,
Right.
because these men for the next many years are simply not gonna change.
Very interesting on that not so encouraging note. It does reflect the larger problem of violence against women in our country, and as our panelists have rightly pointed out and highlighted various incidents, it is the problem of patriarchal nature of our society. It's a mindset, but for the time being it's an action, a punitive action against these kind of statements, derogatory remarks that are made by people in authoritative positions that really the party leadership or the political leadership needs to address and bring out some solution. We are posing a question to you on India Post Live. Use our Twitter handle @India Post Live and our website indiapostlive.com to put in your comments and thoughts on this entire conversation. Do you believe that insensitivity of politicians is something that needs to be just looked away and your thoughts? Please write in to us and take forward this conversation on our social media forum. I thank all our panelists for a very engaging and lively debate. The discussion, of course, continues. Mr. Ashok Wankhede, thank you so much for your insight. Ms. Monobina Gupta, for your time and participation. Ms. Vinita Deshmukh joining us live from Pune, and Mr. Rahul Maganti, and also Neha Dikshit joining us on the phone line for various views and possibly some solutions to this entire menace that we are facing of derogatory remarks against women. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do stay tuned for more conversations and discussions on indiapostlive.com. Goodbye.